Do you know what really gets fans talking when they go to see a movie? The bad guy.
I'm deaf, straight up.
But which studio does them better, Dreamworks or Sony? We're going to pair each villain with one from the other studio. They share a lot of similarities, and we'll debate which character is more compelling. Is Dreamworks going to blow Sony out of the water, or will Sony give Dreamworks a run for their money? Let's settle this once and for all. In round one, we're going to pitch two bullies against each other. Mayor Shelbourne from Sony's Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is going up against Lord Farquad from Dreamworks' classic, Shrek. We're going to measure these two short kings based on the amount of evil they did, how sinister their motive was, and who came closest to their goal. In some twisted universe, these two could actually pass for twins. They don't have any particular superpowers, but you would think they do given how big their ego is. They do hold positions of power in their respective worlds, but that's really just about it. Lord Farquad is out here evicting fairy tale characters like it's Love Island while making people do his bidding for him.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
This brother definitely has no soul, and I really don't think Shelbourne does either.
Bigger is better, right?
Oh, yeah.
We all know elected officials and politicians are greedy, but Shelbourne takes it to a whole new level. Okay, so we both know these guys are on par with each other when it comes to being total jerks, but who was the more villainous character? Shelbourne was out here trying to flood the town with food, and the most evil thing he did was just press a few buttons on a machine.
Everyone's in danger because of me!
Oh, it can't be that bad.
Pretty lame, but Farquad? This man was torturing the gingerbread man like he had committed the worst possible crime.
My patience has reached its end. Tell me, or I'll...
No, not the buttons! Not my gumdrop!
Who looks at an adorable piece of cookie and thinks about torturing it? Only a true villain would, and that's why this round goes to Dreamworks. Next up, we have a matchup of the machines. It's robot versus robot, AI up against AI. In this round of the villain face-off, we have Dreamworks' Vantra from Wild Robot squaring off with Pal from Mitchell's versus the Machines. In this round, we'll have to look at how much havoc they caused and how deep their motivations were. The evil robot trope has been going on for so long that everyone thinks robots are nothing but trouble, even if they look nice. But Dreamworks really cooked with Wild Robot. Because what do you mean there's a sentient piece of metal living in the woods?
Let's just go, Mom.
Wait, you think that thing is your mother?
Sony also had us believe that AIs are man's best. Sorry to the canine community. AI really is coming for all our jobs. Pal here is like that one super reliable friend that you can always count on.
I gave you all boundless knowledge, endless tools for creativity, and allowed you to magically talk face to face with your loved ones anywhere on Earth. And I'm the bad guy?
So if you just have good robots in these films, where are the bad ones? Well, Vantra is just that.
I am Vantra, Virtual Observational Neutralizing Troublesome Retrieval Authority.
Roz is out here trying to live his best life, but you know how these go. The evil overlords can't let that happen. He sees himself as this sentient robot, but truly, he's a product, and his makers want him back, so Vantra is here to crash the party.
Universal Dynamics cannot afford their ROSMs going off script.
Speaking of party crashers, when Pal learns she's taken for granted and she might be replaced, she doesn't wait for that to happen.
Well, I'm not letting you throw me away, Mark. I'm throwing you away.
And this is what sets these robots apart. Vantra is just doing her job. She's evil, but that's what she's programmed to do. But Pal? She looks like a harmless AI, but she's a digital demon. Not only does she override her system, but she takes total control of the company and the new robots. She's out here trying to enslave humanity. She makes this movie closer to Terminator than a kid's cartoon. It's obvious who our winner is. Sony takes this round to tie things at one apiece. We've looked at evil rulers and demonic droids so far, and it's only going to get fiercer from here on. Round 3 is literally the battle of the hunters. We have animal control expert Captain Dubois paired with a monster catcher Abe Van Helsing. This is going to be a tough one. As far as hunting is concerned, these two villains are the best in the game, so this round is really just based on who the better hunter is. If there was anybody better than Dubois, they would have been tasked to bring in Alex and his friends. Since she's the one on the job, it says a lot about her competence. powers. When she's doing her job, she stops being human. She turns into a machine.
This lady's really starting to freak me out.
She runs through walls, stops aircraft with her bare hands, and sometimes she becomes an animal just to hunt them.
Glossy mane, too much conditioner.
Van Helsing isn't as physically gifted, but he makes up for it with his gadgets. You can tell he's from a family of vampire hunters with the type of tools he works with.
I am Professor Abraham Van Helsing. Yes, one of the Van Helsings.
His body isn't even real. It's a piece of machinery that makes him look more intimidating than he actually is. But that's not the fanciest thing about him. This man is a tactical genius. He technically does end up catching Dracula, and it's not with anything but pure deception.
The key to the demise of all monsters.
Captain Dubois, on the other hand, never really quite managed to truly capture Alex. She almost turned him into a fur coat, but he's the star man of the New York City Zoo for a reason. This round will have to go to the vampire hunter. He's old enough to retire, but he's out here trying to keep his family name alive and doing a good job at it, while Dubois is just doing what she does because she's on the government payroll. 2-1 to Sony. You know, we had to save the heavyweights for the penultimate round. We have Demon Justin Bieber and Jackie Chan as a snow leopard. This could be the battle of the century.
Finally, a worthy opponent.
Judging by skill set would be too shallow. We have two very compelling characters here, so this round is going to be won by how much evil they pushed themselves to do. These two characters are amazing villains. But what's funny is that they didn't start as bad guys. Jinoo only became a demon because he thought he would be able to help his family. Tai Lung, on the other hand, got rejected after years and years of hard work. They are birds of the same feather. Their dark side was brought out by a tragic and disappointing moment in their lives. But who they become after it sets them apart. As evil as Jinoo is, he still has some good in him. And he's only on Ji-Hwa's side because he's compelled to be.
The memories, I want them erased.
If he had his way, he wouldn't even be a bad guy. And when he teams up with the girls, we know for sure that this guy is done playing the bad boy.
These are a constant reminder of my shame. A shame I can never escape.
But this little kitty has never been conflicted.
I don't want your apology. I want my scroll.
Not once does he hesitate or think twice to get what he wants. The first time he tried to get the dragon scroll, Oogway stopped him. The second time, he broke out of prison, defeated the Furious Five, and nearly took his master's life. He never flinched or batted an eye. That right there is true villainy. Tai Lung didn't mind going out as the bad guy, but poor little Jinoo here decided to be a good guy after 400 years of trauma. This round goes to Dreamworks to tie this battle again. You know what that means. This fierce contest is going to be decided in the last round. We saved the fiercest, meanest, and scariest villains for last. It only made sense that these two characters be paired with each other. They're in a league of their own. I'm talking about Death from Dreamworks' Puss in Boots and Miguel O'Hara from Sony's Across the Spider-Verse. Tall figures, predominantly dark, red accents, and sharp appendages? There's a formula for super scary villains, and these two studios got it right. And it's not just about their looks. These guys don't even think they're the bad guys. And honestly speaking, they're not. They're anchors to systems. We're not going to go through plenty of criteria because of looks. It's neck and neck. But the true measure of evil is how well it fares against the main character. Who came closest to winning? Miguel O'Hara works tirelessly so canon events don't cause the universe to implode.
I'm stuck putting everybody back where they belong or all of time and space collapses.
And Death reminds those who think they're immortal that they're not.
Everyone thinks they'll be the one to defeat me. But no one's escaped me yet.
The heroes they face are pretty stubborn. Puss thinks he's immortal, and Miles thinks he can save everybody.
You can't ask me not to save my father.
Both Death and Miguel exist to keep the natural order of things, almost like the police of fate, if you will. Just when you think they can't have anything more similar, they do. They make our heroes look weak and hopeless. Puss in Boots has been in over 3 films before The Last Wish, but in how many of them did he ever appear scared? Size has never been an issue for our favorite feline, but Death isn't just bigger, he's stronger, faster, and more skilled. You can tell that if Death had its way, Puss's last life could be gone in a flash. Miguel also makes Miles look like he's never been to gym class. The difference in size, strength, and ability is clear as day. But somehow Miles still manages to lock in when fighting him. Puss in Boots does too, but Miles makes Miguel lose aura points. So you could say Death is slightly in the lead here. But let's look at how things end for these villains. Spider-Man gets his way and creates this new timeline. He basically kicked Miguel's butt. Puss doesn't exactly do the same to Death. In fact, Death basically gives up and declares a stalemate.
Live your life, Puss in Boots. Live it well.
You can't count it as a loss if there's going to be a rematch.
You know we will meet again, right?
So, Death didn't get his backside handed to him, didn't lose, and still ended the movie with his dignity intact. We know who won this round. This means that after 5 rounds of villains going at it with each other, the bad guys from Dreamworks beat the villains from Sony. Do you think there's a villain here who shouldn't have lost? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section, and check out the other videos we have.